Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another late autumn night film review. Tonight we're looking at a classic giallo on Shameless Video, and it's called The Case of the Bloody Iris. I've been looking to review this one for a while. It's an absolute classic giallo. It's got your everything, every classic ingredients of the film. A great cast as well, and a great sort of story. The film starts off with a kill, pretty much straight away. We've got a girl who's on the telephone. She's calling a client. I think she's a working girl, if you like, and she goes up in the lift to the apartment, and she gets brutally murdered in the lift, as you can see in some of the clips. And then we cut to this sort of modelling agency where we've got our discount Woody Allen with our main character, a budget Ben Stiller, and that they're sort of chatting away. He's an architect, and our Woody Allen character is like a photographer for like models, and he's sort of like talking about hiring or this building and stuff like that, and we meet more sort of female characters. We meet this black woman who lives in the same block of flats where the murder is, and she saw the sort of the remnants of the murder on the flat when it got to her floor. Anyway, she's some strange sort of model, dancer, wrestler. As she goes, we visit her at a nightclub, and she invites all the men in the club to wrestle her for 3 minutes. And one guy comes up and they start wrestling. It's it's not wrestling as such. It's all like he's trying to get his way with her, and she's trying to beat him off her, and that's the actual. Anyway, she manages to hold him off for 3 minutes. And our budget Ben Stiller's there, and he wants to meet her afterwards, and so he arranges with a barman. We then cut to a couple more models who's with our discount Woody Allen at the studio, and it's one of them is a famous sort of giallo actress, absolutely stunning, and she's in loads of giallo films, and she's being stalked by this guy who we believe is her husband, because she's got herself involved with this sort of it's almost like a swingers sort of cult group which her husband's a member of, and she's just wanted to get out of it and stuff like that. So we see clips of her in this group, and she sort of like does the sort of ceremony to join it and all this sort of thing, and now she's trying to get out of it. And this guy that calls his husband's stalking her, and he stops her outside the studio because he's stalking her and she's trying to get away. And they sort of bit of a sort of like fight on the street where he sort of threatens her with this injection, which I think has probably got hallucinogenics in it, but she manages to escape him. But he makes threats and stuff like this. And then we see our black girl going home from her work, and she goes towards the lift and still visualizes the dead girl in there, so she decides to walk up to the flat. And when she gets to her flat, none of the lights are working, and she goes in and tries her best, and she gets attacked there by our killer, and he sort of knocks her out, and he ties her up and he puts her in the bath where he goes and he drowns her, so she's dead. And then we see our budget Ben Stiller and our discount Woody Allen in this bar with the two models walking to meet him, and he's offered them somewhere to stay and said that he's going to rent out their studio for them. So they're all sort of like happy, and our main sort of female lead, she's getting very attracted to him, but she's still being stalked by this so-called husband of this swinger group. Still seems to be looking at them. So we're getting loads of sort of suspects of this murders. Like when they go to the new flat, Ben Stiller guy says, "Oh, he's never been there before, but he knows who the neighbours are next door," and she sort of susses that out, and he says, "Oh no, it's just a part of my job as an architect to know who's in the building," sort of thing. And we've got a policeman on the case who's investigating these crimes, and he sort of like goes to speak to our Woody Allen guy, and he's sort of following these sort of leads to these things, and he's got a 3 or 4 suspects, and that's how the sort of giallo film plays out. We get a scene at night when now 2 girls are in the flat, and the killer breaks in and he starts to strangle the girl, but she screams, and he runs out, and the 2 girls sort of like looking for him. And it's all these sort of typical giallo scenes go on with these sort of lavish sort of environment. It's really well shot, pristine shot, and it's got some brilliant, brutal and bloody kills in the film, and it's really cool. And it's got an ending that you don't see coming, which is another great thing about giallo films. I love giallo films. The more I watch them, the more underrated I think they are as a genre. This is an early 70s film. Um, and it's like one of these sort of really early sort of giallos that sort of really kicked it off into a big sort of subgenre of horror. And it plays out wonderfully, and the story is so gripping, and the characters. I like the characters. You know, the characters. It's good to sort of hang out with them and sort of watch them, watch the story unfold, and wondering. You can sort of see things that are happening, but it doesn't go that way sometimes. You know, and you think, oh, I thought it was going to do that, but it doesn't. It does this, and then you find yourself thinking, is he the killer? Is he the killer, or is she the killer? Is that neighbour the killer? The old woman next door. There's this bizarre old woman lives next door. Woody Allen's mum. Is Woody Allen the killer? You need to watch it and find out. I think this is an amazing giallo, and it's one of the sort of real sort of iconic sort of giallo sort of films of its time. And this is great because it's in my Shameless collection, which is awesome. I'm going to score this an amazing watch, 9 out of 10. It's that high up. It's one of those high ones. It's not a 10 out of 10 like Tenebrae or anything like that, but it's definitely up there with with Deep Reds and all the other fantastic giallos that I absolutely adore. And if you've enjoyed this, have a look over my channel. I have reviewed quite a few giallos over the past sort of like a couple of years, so there's quite a few on my channel. It's just one of my favourite subgenres. You know, Italian horror is probably my favourite country of horror. You know, I prefer it than British horrors. There's just some charm about it that I love more, and the giallo scene is just a wonderful, meaty and great sort of subgenre to get your teeth into, because there's so many. They were coming out all over the place, you know. It was so popular, even different countries were trying to sort of replicate the giallo. Like you'd have Brian De Palma doing films like Dress to Kill and things like that, which was, again, it's a giallo, but it's like an American film. A very influential subgenre of horror, and I love it. And I love this one, The Case of the Bloody Iris. 9 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. It is a classic. It is up there with the Black Lace and all the other sort of amazing giallos that I reviewed in my channel. Tenebrae, Deep Red, or Argentos. Argentos is the king of the giallo. Obviously, Lenzi, Bava, they've all delved in. Even Fucci is delved into the giallo, but Nothing beats an Argento. This isn't an Argento. I can't remember the director's name. I'm not going to see it on this box because it's too dark at night, and I'm not turning the light on to have a look. But it's a really, really cool film. If you want to have a good time, and it's got a little bit of humour in it as well. There's a little bit of black humour going throughout the film, which lightens the proceeds, if you like. Guys, till my next video, please check out some other horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, The Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Design, Pizzlewell, I Am Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, and Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.